सीधा राज्यसभा लिए चलते वित्त मंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण का संबोधन।
UPA then can never be forgotten, sir. Why am I remembering that now? Because many of the borrowings of those days are being cleared by us now. Of course, borrowing by one government will have to be cleared later, but they were not shown in the budget. Had they only shown it in their budget, their fiscal deficit numbers would have been completely different. The growth projection numbers and then later on the real growth figures which have been shown also wouldn't have been that much if only their budget processing were transparent. If many of the extra borrowing, budgetary borrowings, had been shown then rather than showing it in something else. The context in which I'm saying this is only recently, in fact this month, we would be clearing up all the oil bonds which were issued by the UPA government. Had that been done then itself in your budget, even with the new growth series resulting in a higher number for that period, for everybody to speak about that time was better, you've not reached that. No, that time was made to appear better because many of their borrowing had not been shown in their books. It was shown in somebody else's books. I'll give you the data, sir. Between 2004 and 5 and 2009 and 10, 2004-5 to 9-10, UPA government had issued oil bonds to the oil marketing companies amounting to 1.48 lakh crores in lieu of the cash subsidy on petroleum products. They didn't show it in their budget. These were off budget. The bonds carried 7 to 8.4% interest rates. As a result, the fiscal deficit during those years would have been significantly higher than the reported numbers had they only shown it. Assuming the UPA included various off-budget borrowings, oil bonds, Food Corporation of India, fertilizer bonds, if they had all shown it in their budget during that period, in 2008-9, the fiscal deficit would actually be at 7.9% rather than 6.1%, which they had shown of the GDP shown officially. They showed 6.1, but had they only shown these three, minimum three that I'm talking about, oil bonds, FCI, and also the fertilizer, had they shown it in their budget, their deficit would have been 7.9. Similarly, the revenue deficit would have been 6.3% in reality rather than the 4.6% that they showed. So they showed it all rosy, and now there are some of their own sympathizers looking at data and saying, no, it would have been better. I would suggest to these economists who are trying to whitewash that number.